I have no idea how this lens is. It's brand new, so we'll see. The most hyped 35mm lens is finally here. I've been waiting for the Meike 35mm f1.8 Pro for almost 9 months. Hi friends, Dirk here. Ever since I reviewed the 55mm f1.8 Pro from Meike, I really wished for a 35mm version with similar features. Let's see if Meike got it right. The first thing I did was to upgrade the firmware. Good thing is that we have a USB-C port directly here at the lens mount, and this is something I would always recommend for everyone who's purchasing a new lens. Check out on the manufacturer's website, see if there's a new firmware available, and in case of Meike, it's very easy. You simply download it on your PC, plug in a USB-C cable, and drag and drop the firmware onto the lens, and now we're ready to shoot. A welcome addition is the red rubber ring that helps us protect the lens from moisture and dust. And this is something I see lately with almost all Meike lenses, even the ones that are not Pro. We have an AF/MF switch here and a focus ring. And we also get a clicky aperture ring. Although I noticed that it is a bit more improved and better constructed than it was on the Meike 55mm f1.8 Pro, I still sometimes touched it and accidentally switched the aperture, and then suddenly I was shooting at f11. To prevent this from happening, you simply turn it back to A, so you select the aperture within your camera body, and then here's the pro tip. A piece of Gorilla Tape can fix almost everything. So yes, I put a stripe of Gorilla Tape on the bottom, and that prevents me from accidentally switching the aperture. Although the lens is made of plastic, this is something we Lumix shooters are used to. It doesn't feel cheap, it feels well constructed. The front filter size is 58mm, and we also get a nice lens hood. The optical design is impressive. We have 12 elements in 10 groups, of which a few of these elements have special coatings to reduce CAs, ghosting and flaring, and to improve viewing angles and image quality. To test the lens, I scheduled a shoot with Terra, and we started on the beach. Very nice. When I reviewed the first images, I almost couldn't believe my eyes. The center sharpness, already wide open at f1.8, is impressive. Now, of course, when we're looking at the test chart, the corners are a bit softer. As we stop it down to f2.8, f4, f5.6, the corners keep improving. We also have some vignetting that goes away as we stop the lens down to f2.8, but as you can see in the real-world photos, it's not that bad. With in-camera corrections turned off, you can see that we have some barrel distortions. As it got much harder, these trees provided the perfect shade, and it was time for my next test. What's typical for the Meike Pro series is that the autofocus is very confident, and we also don't have any, really zero focus breathing. I like this a lot, and that's great for filmmakers. The stepper motor that's built in is really silent. And also, when I reviewed all the images, I have to tell you honestly that there was not a single photo that was not in focus, and that's impressive. The minimum focusing distance on this lens is 35 centimeters, so this is really not a macro lens. It gives us a maximum magnification ratio of 0.13x. It's still enough for the types of photos that I wanted to create. You can create really nice sun stars with the Meike 35mm f1.8 Pro already at f8. Here you can see some at f11 and at f16. That's pretty nice. And also the flaring is really well controlled. Even wide open, stars and point lights show a minimum of chroma. The bokeh is another strong side of the Meike 35mm f1.8 Pro. And not only when you're close to your subject, also when you keep a normal distance. And thanks to the f1.8, we get an outstanding out-of-focus background and an excellent subject separation. The bokeh balls are also very nice, and we have a very light color fringing surrounding them. It's really not severe. In general, I can say that the chromatic aberrations have been greatly reduced, and they are really minimal. Longitudinal aberrations exist at f1.8, but as we stop it down, they go away. The local library was the perfect scene to finish our photo shoot. The images are contrasty, sharp, and full of character. I'm really happy with the outcome. 35mm is a really versatile focal length. In fact, I'm recording this at 35mm. You can use it for street photography, for environmental portraits. What I mean by that is showing people in context, putting something else in the frame. For example, a chef in the kitchen, a musician in its studio. Great for events, weddings, or a group of people when you just need a bit more wiggle room in the frame. For landscapes. Also fantastic if you want to get more in your scene while retaining a natural perspective. Or simply as an everyday walk-around lens. So what are my final thoughts on the Meike 35mm f1.8 Pro? Actually, I had so much fun shooting with this lens. It's reliable, it's enjoyable, and it inspires you to look for interesting shots wherever you go. It currently retails at $379, and that's a fraction of what you pay for other 35mm lenses that have professional characteristics. So it's really great for people on a budget. And it's also great for traveling because it weighs only 400 grams. The only thing I found a bit odd was that the lens cap mount opens in the opposite direction of all my other lenses. If you're like me, you don't want to worry if your gear can get the job done. And this one takes the stress away. You just pick it up, frame your image, and the results speak for themselves. It is not flashy, it is not gimmicky, but it's solid and dependable and a lot of fun to use, and that's exactly what a 35mm lens is supposed to be. I like it a lot, and I can truly recommend it. If you're in the market to buy any camera gear, please consider using my affiliate links in the description below at no extra cost to you. It would certainly support and help my channel. And if you're wondering how the Meike 35mm f1.8 Pro compares to the Zeiss 35mm f2, a lens that is almost twice as expensive, you should watch this video here next. Thanks so much for watching this. Till the next time, stay safe, stay tuned, and take care. Bye for now. There's a fly on my lens.